Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 on the Disney Dream.
This morning I am feeling a lot better. The headache is gone, so I guess I just had to get used to being on a ship again. It has been a very long time. So we got up, got ready, and headed to breakfast. On the way, we saw Belle over by the elevators, so we waved to her and talked to her for a minute because it is very distanced. And on the other side, Donna was there, and we were able to take some selfies with him, so we went over and talked to him and laughed with him because Donald is just hilarious.
He's
we love
always
him.
fun.
He's very proud of the statue downstairs in the lobby of himself.
We love you too, Donald. See?
And then on the main level of the atrium, Tiana was down there and there was a photographer as well. So we went down there to take some pictures with her and of course chat with her.
Good.
It's so good to see you on here.
We headed down to deck 2 for breakfast in the Enchanted Garden. For breakfast, you usually have the option of Cabanas, which is still the buffet or cafeteria style. You also have Enchanted Garden and Royal Palace. And Royal Palace and Enchanted Garden are the same menu, they just have the a la carte ordering. You can order whatever you want, and of course unlimited food like usual on a Disney cruise. And we wanted to check out Enchanted Garden since we didn't eat dinner here last night. We had it up in Royal Palace, and oh my goodness, I forgot how much I love this restaurant. It is so pretty, and the lighting in here changes throughout the day, depending on whether it's morning or evening, to make it feel like it's actually that time of day with the lighting. Once we got seated, they brought around a huge platter of pastries for us to choose from, and of course I had to have a donut because I love donuts, and I also got a couple other little pastries as well.
I ordered a parfait. They had quite a few different options of parfaits. I got the one with granola, honey, and strawberries. This was really, really good. I didn't feel like it had enough fruit inside. I like to have a lot of fruit and granola in my parfaits, but I still really enjoyed it. But the main course I got was the Eggs Benedict with ham, and this was so good. I love Eggs Benedict, so this was a really nice start to the day.
And I didn't have enough carbs with all the pastries and donuts and things, so I ordered French toast for my breakfast, but I did add on a side of bacon, so I had some protein in there too. The French toast was really good, but it looked kind of small when they brought it out, until I started eating it and realized like there's no way I'm gonna finish it, probably because I've already had too much bread to begin with. As soon as we finished breakfast, we headed up to deck 4 to Evolution.
Hey Robert,
Hi.
where are we going?
We're going to play bingo! And I may or may not have a slight bingo addiction on Disney Cruise Line. It is just so much fun, and I didn't want to miss it today.
We each got 2 packs of bingo cards and a bonus card for the final round. It's all old school right now, which is my favorite way to play anyway. That's like legit bingo. They don't have any devices, so I was really, really happy. But this ended up being a really stressful game. They were going really fast throughout all this. It takes a lot of work to punch all the little holes every single time they call one, but we still had a lot of fun. They had a few technical glitches with the lighting, and so hopefully we'll get to see that later in the week. But we love bingo, especially on a Disney Cruise Line, because they make it so much fun. There are all these inside jokes. Once you've played before, you kind of know a lot of them, and we just absolutely love it. The cast members are amazing.
Seems so good.
So good! So good! So good!
Indeed, one good play on bingo. Here we go, in the room. You don't know what is about to happen, but it's going to blow your mind. Here we go, it's time for B. 11. B, B, 11. 1, B, 11. B, B, 11. Now do the sprinkler. Come on, elevator, next. Here we go. Now who did it best? Memory, Ross, Taylor. Wow.
We also love winning, and thankfully Robert won, but not at bingo.
You shake the bag. You're wrong.
All right, we have Robert Simmons.
On the count of 3, we're going to go wild and crazy as you strike that pose. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations to you. All right, everyone, we're going to take a pause now. We'll get back to the prizes momentarily. Let's last time to say
As much as I love bingo, I rarely seem to win bingo, although it usually happens once or twice. But I always win a door prize on every cruise, it seems like, for whatever reason. So I have some really cool Disney Cruise Line merch now. After bingo was over, we had a little bit of time to kill between this and our next activity, which is the shopping session. So we headed over to the lobby to see which characters were out now. Cinderella was upstairs where you could go and get a picture with her. So we went and met her for a couple minutes and took some selfies. Jasmine was also out this morning. She was over by the elevators up on the balcony. And then we headed downstairs because Belle was out where Tiana was earlier, and the photographer was there, so we could get pictures with Belle and chat with her for a few minutes.
We went back to the room just to drop off the door prizes Robert had won, and we were surprised to find that our room had been cleaned. We had heard through the grapevine that they would no longer be cleaning the rooms as much as they used to, but our room was completely clean. It was like a pixie came in and just cleaned everything up for us. It's really like magic being here on a cruise ship. And then it was time for the shopping session. This was just the overall general shopping session where they kind of tell you the different places you can shop on the ship. Normally they would also tell you places in port, but there's really nowhere to shop
Not
in
on
port.
Castaway Cay, yeah.
We're going to Castaway Cay. So we just had a general session, and it was Robert, myself, and one other guest in this session. So it was over in like 10 minutes, so we all just stayed there talking together.
Just chatted because it was, normally it's a big presentation, right?
Yep.
And there's door prizes and coupons or whatever else they give out. Like there's always some stuff going on. And 3 of us showed up. So she was just like, well, I guess I'll just kind of give a presentation to you 3. And so we talked with her for a little while. Alyssa got a nice Swarovski pendant, which was probably supposed to be a door prize, but there were only 2 ladies there, so she gave each of them one. And I didn't get a pendant. I was really disappointed. But I got my bingo door
you
prize.
wanted bingo,
so I'll
and
take it.
I got a necklace. So today's been a really good day so far. When this session was over, we headed to the next place we're going, the next activity. And on the way, we saw Mickey and Minnie together. So we took some selfies with them and chatted with them.
She loves your bow.
Thank you. I love your bow. It's a lot bigger than mine. That chandelier behind you makes you guys look even better.
Right?
It's pretty great.
So pretty.
That's what it's there for.
It's very sparkly.
Ooh.
And then we headed over to one of our favorite things that they have on the Disney Cruise Line. Usually they have some form of a tour where you can go around and learn about the ship. Now they are not walking around the ship, obviously because of social distancing, but they did have a video presentation that we could watch learning all about the Disney Dream, the making of it, and any information that we wanted, or if we had any questions, there was a cast member there to answer them. And this was so amazing to see because you get to see the behind the scenes, kind of the thought that went into everything, and the changes throughout the years because the Disney Dream does not look how it was originally built. But that's so cool to find out because as Disney continues to learn what works, what doesn't, they build on that. And it was just a really amazing presentation to see.
I love anything to do with Imagineering and how they came up with all the cool stuff, either on Disney Cruise Line or at Walt Disney World or wherever it may be. So this is definitely one of my favorite things to do as well. After that presentation was all over, we decided to run up to Cabanas to get some food because we're still on a cruise and we still have unlimited food, and it's been a few hours since breakfast, so we may as well get some lunch, right? So we went up there and saw the massive spread that they have for lunch in Cabanas. Very similar to yesterday, but they did change out a lot of the foods, like the meats and the vegetables and things like that. But of course the fruits and the breads, that was all pretty similar to what it was yesterday. We loaded up a couple plates and then headed back downstairs, right back into the district where we're gonna have Disney trivia. We love playing Disney trivia here on the cruise ship. So we got in there to the lounge where the trivia was going on, and there was a big sign out that said venue at capacity, which meant we could not play trivia. And this is the first time we've run into this. We knew that the ship had limited people on it and each area had a limited capacity. They have tables that are marked as unavailable and stuff like that just for distancing, but we haven't had an issue with that until now. So we're kind of standing there holding our plates, and we decided just to walk outside onto deck 4 and get a seat outside and eat our food with a beautiful ocean view instead of doing it inside with trivia.
After we finished our lunch, we decided that it was time to do some shopping.
Yeah.
We don't like waiting until the last day because that seems like what a lot of people do. Then there's usually a line, and we don't want to take a ton of time shopping because we're here to enjoy the cruise. We want to enjoy the other things.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset about taking a ton of time.
I mean, we took our
shopping.
time
I like
shopping, but you don't want to take up too much time waiting in lines and things like that. So we decided to do our shopping and got some really cool stuff. They still have scrapbooking stuff here on the Disney cruise. They no longer offer that at Walt Disney World, which broke my heart when they took those away. But I can still get on the cruise line. We also got an ornament because that is tradition for us. Anytime we go somewhere together, we get an ornament to commemorate it. And so we just enjoyed shopping. They have so much new merchandise here on the Disney Cruise Line. A lot of different lines, lots of color. And so we really enjoyed just going through both stores and seeing everything they have. Because again, we haven't shopped on here in a very long time.
I counted at least 12 different Disney Cruise Line hats that I do not own and I really liked. There were more than 12, but there were at least 10 or 12 that I really, really liked and thought about buying, but I chose not to because it's only a 4-night cruise and I have enough hats for the entire cruise. So what we need to do is we need to take a 7-night cruise so I can justify buying some more hats.
When we finished our shopping, we decided to go to the top deck and get some of that unlimited ice cream that they have. And there was actually a line this time. This is the first time we've seen a line for ice cream. It didn't take very long. We were just surprised because every time we've walked by so far, there's been nobody there. So you just walk up to get ice cream. But again, it went really quickly, and so we enjoyed our ice cream cones. And then it was time for the next activity, Disney animation, and it never tells you in the app who you're going to draw. It just says learn how to draw a Disney character. So we went down there, and turns out the cast member did not know who we were going to draw either. She actually let everyone vote because she's done several of these already. Several of the people had been there before, so she let everyone vote, and we ended up voting on Donald. I actually voted for Minnie Mouse, but she didn't get very many votes. And so we got Donald, and he was actually much easier to draw than I thought he would be. But it just didn't work out. I cannot draw for anything. I try so hard. I love it. I enjoy going to these and learning, but I'm not very good at it. So I felt like mine did not look like Donald. So I named him Drew Duck, and he's like a distant cousin. He's basically a variant of Donald, and that's what we're going with on my drawing.
So we've gotten into the multiverse with the Disney characters. It's not just for the MCU anymore. And I think that's a really good way to explain all of our Donald Duck drawings, because I didn't see anyone in the room who had a really good Donald Duck drawing. Once we were done with the animation, we walked down for bingo round number 2 today.
Yay!
This is the only day that has 2 rounds because we are at sea. So we got down there, super excited to play bingo again. But this venue was at capacity as well, which is really sad because I always play all the bingo.
He was so sad.
I was very upset about this. Trivia was upsetting, but trivia happens a lot on the ship, and there's different kinds of trivia. But bingo only happens twice today and once the next couple days, so I was very sad we weren't able to play bingo this time. We headed on into the district where the next session of Disney Trivia was going to happen in about 30 minutes, and we found that the venue was already almost full. There was only 1 table still available, and unfortunately, that table seats 8 people, and there are only 2 of us. But we are going to play Disney Trivia, so we took the table that holds 8 people. And what I did was I went up to the top deck while Alyssa sat there and held the table for us, and I got us some more food over at Flo's V8 Cafe. I got myself a cheeseburger and some french fries because they do have those if you ask for them. And then I got a panini for Alyssa. They had a grilled chicken panini that looked really good and a big bowl of fruit.
The panini was really good. I didn't know what I wanted, so I just told Robert to surprise me. He did a great job because I really enjoyed that. And then it was time for Disney Trivia. It did hit capacity again, so we were really glad we went early. They were allowing a few people to stand as long as they were distanced, but even that was at capacity as well, so they had to start turning people away. So that was something we learned. If we want to do something, we should be there early just in case it hits capacity. This is also the day at sea, so there's nowhere else for anyone to be. They can't be on the island. So we're hoping that this will change once we're on the island because it will kind of separate everyone out. So some people will be there and some people will be on the ship. We played Disney Trivia, and I love Disney Trivia because if I don't know the answer to something, it means I'm going to learn the answer and learn something new about Disney. And I thought we did pretty well. There were 2 that we questioned, and we did question them because we got them both wrong, and we were so sad about it. And the worst part is, one of them we had the right answer for. We crossed it out and put a different answer. We second guessed ourselves. But the family that won ended up getting a perfect score. So we got 23 out of 25. Another family got 24 out of 25. And someone else got a perfect score of 25 out of 25. And Disney Cruise Line Trivia is really intense because a lot of people come and play a lot, and so it's actually really hard to win without a perfect score because of that.
Everybody wants to get those medals that they give you, which
I
mean,
love
the medals are cool. You get winter medals you can wear all week. But yeah, everyone always seems to have a perfect score. So if you don't score perfect on regular Disney trivia on the ship, there's a good chance you're not going to win, which is great whenever you score a perfect score, but if you're too short, just not quite good enough. After that loss in trivia, we headed down to the main atrium, not looking for any characters now because they're not out, but instead we are going to take some pictures with all the different photo backdrops they have set up. They do change them out, or at least most of them, every single night, so you can take different pictures every night, and of course you are wearing different outfits as well. So we went and took some photos with the photographers there. Again, these are all going to be on that USB drive for us, and we want to make sure we get as many as possible.
We took a ton of pictures. They had 3 different backdrops there, and then they had one over in the theater before we walked in. So we took some pictures there as well before going inside to watch Disney's Believe, which is their own show that they have created for the Disney Dream. While we were sitting there before the show started, we were there a little early, got some good seats, and Chip and Dale came out and did the funniest little act, and honestly it's not acting for them because they pick on each other all the time. So this was just them being silly on the stage. Once Chip and Dale ran backstage, the show began. Again, we could not take any pictures or video during the show, and so we just sat there and enjoyed the entire thing. This is a beautiful, beautiful story, amazing choreography. So many Disney characters appear in this show. It's all about believing in magic, thus the name of the show. And anytime you get a chance to see a Disney show, you have to take it because they do such a phenomenal job every single time. We have seen this specific show before, but we still really enjoyed it and we're really glad we came.
It's definitely a tearjerker, especially if you have kids, because it's all about, believing in the magic of childhood and all that good stuff. It's a great show. I really am glad we got to go see this. Now again, they are doing this show twice on this sailing because of the distancing in the theater. So since we've seen Beauty and the Beast and now we've seen Believe, that means we don't have any new shows to go see the next couple nights, so we can do whatever we want on the ship during the regular show times. We headed back up to the room just to kind of get settled and get ready for dinner, and we found more towel art in our room sitting on the bed waiting for us, as well as some chocolates, of course. We headed up to the top deck because we wanted to try and see the sunset. It's always so pretty when you're out here at sea and there's nothing else in sight except for the water and the sun setting over the horizon, and we had the most beautiful sunset. We took a ton of pictures and a ton of video as we were up here just enjoying this beautiful sunset.
As we walked around taking a ton of pictures because the sunset just kept changing, so every time we took a picture, 2 minutes later it would look completely different, so we'd have to take more pictures, of course, because we want to capture that as well. We noticed that there was no one in the adult-only pool. They have these little pools, so it's just kind of a waiting pool, I guess. Normally there's a fountain on, it wasn't on right now, so I guess that's why no one was in it. So I decided just to put my feet in and enjoy this beautiful breeze we have, the beautiful sunset. It was just such a pretty evening. So Robert took some pictures of me while we were up there because I was just really enjoying being completely and totally relaxed. And that's what it's all about on a cruise, because you can just disconnect from everyone and everything and just be in the moment, and I love that.
It's also all about eating as much as you possibly
also
can.
that.
You can't forget that part. We still had a little bit of time to kill before dinner because Believe is a shorter show than Beauty and the Beast was. So we headed down to the district where they had a violinist playing some Taylor Swift tunes, which was very interesting because you don't think of violin when you think of Taylor Swift, but he did a really good job with these covers. It totally changed the sound of the songs. So we listened to him for a few minutes, but it was getting really busy in the lounge and really loud. So we headed back up to the room. We've still got a little bit of time before dinner. We're kind of tired. We've been all over the ship, it feels like today, up and down, up and down. So we came back to the room just to rest for a few minutes. And then we fell asleep in the room and slept right through time for dinner because we weren't planning to take a nap. It just kind of happened.
And you sleep really well on a cruise ship, assuming you don't get seasick. But we both sleep really well because it basically just rocks you to sleep. And we completely passed out. And you know when you take that nap and it's just like that really dark, like you wake up, you're like, where am I?
I have no idea what's
How old
going
am
on.
I don't know anything. That's where we were. And we're like, where were we supposed to be? I don't remember. Dinner. Okay, what time is it? Oh.
Dinner
wow.
was, yeah. Dinner was 30
we're on a
minutes
cruise
ago.
ship, so we didn't miss food. It's not like we can't get food anywhere. So we decided to order room service because that is something they have here. It is included. It's not extra at all. Room service.
Dinner. Lots of dinner. Do we order all this?
It's for lots and lots of people.
I thought we ordered just like 2 things. We have plenty of food.
We decided on the buffalo chicken wings, which had a lot of flavor, little bit of heat. There was a kick to it, not right away, but it kind of like kicked you in the back of their throat after you ate it for a minute. And then we also got the charcuterie board, which had way better cheeses than I expected for being like a room service charcuterie board. It was actually really good.
We also ordered some soups. Alyssa got the chicken noodle soup, which wasn't bad, but it just wasn't anything special. So it was like, well, the chicken noodle soup's okay. I got the tomato soup, and it was amazing.
It was.
Some of the best tomato soup I've had in a long time. And because I got tomato soup, I also wanted a grilled cheese sandwich because I am just a big child. So I ordered a grilled cheese sandwich for my meal with some chips, and I used that to kind of dunk into the tomato soup.
I also ordered a grilled cheese sandwich. They probably just thought we had a couple kids in here with everything we ordered.
Probably.
And I planned on putting it in my chicken noodle soup. I didn't really love the chicken noodle soup though, so I actually dunked my grilled cheese in his tomato soup as well, and we both just shared that and had a really nice meal.
As we were finishing up our food, we heard some music kind of get louder, not here in the room, but we could hear it outside of our veranda, which, you know, there's no one out there, but a couple decks up is the main deck where all the partying and stuff goes on. So we opened up the curtain and opened up the door, and we heard there was music playing, and then next thing we know, fireworks started going off right above our room. We had the perfect vantage point for the fireworks at sea. Because there is limited capacity and they have to distance everyone on the deck, they're actually doing fireworks 2 nights this week. And if you had early dining scheduled, then you were going to have fireworks tonight. And if you have second dining like us, we're going to have those tomorrow night. So tonight we just sat out on the veranda and enjoyed the fireworks that were going on up above our heads from the veranda. It was like the perfect spot to watch.
It was really neat and a really nice ender to our meal. It was basically, oh, there's fireworks there, and we just had some room service. We're just super spoiled right now. But we did have somewhere we wanted to be. The Pianist is playing in the Pink Lounge, and I haven't been in there because they do a lot of wine tastings in there, very private events, and so every time we're up there, something's going on, so I don't go inside. And this place is adorable. I had not been in here before. I had no idea that this is where I should have been. It basically looks like Audrey Hepburn walked into a room and designed it. It is so classy, it is so chic, and it's completely pink, and I love it so much. When I went in there, someone said something about seeing pink elephants, and I laughed because that's just kind of the theme. There's pink elephants on the tie of the waiters, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, pink elephants, and they're like, nope, still seeing them. I'm like, what are they talking about? And sure enough, as I was staring at the bubbles on the wall, I realized that pink elephants were randomly popping up. It was super trippy and super cool, and it was a lot of work to try and capture this because they pop up and then disappear, and you never know which bubble they're gonna come in. So I basically was playing a weird game of whack-a-mole, trying to see pink elephants pop up in bubbles. And that just sounds like I've had way too much, but it was a lot of fun to watch while I was waiting for the pianist to begin playing.
While Alyssa went down to get a seat for the piano tunes, I went up to the top deck to grab a drink from the soda machine, and then came back down, and on my way into the Pink Lounge to meet her, I heard Jordan Caswell playing. He's the violinist that was playing Taylor Swift earlier, but now he was playing Lindsey Stirling songs. And she is one of my all-time favorite artists. I love all of her albums. I have them all. So I stopped to listen to the song for just a second, and I was like, I should tell Alyssa what's going on. So I opened the door of the lounge and was like, hey, he's playing Lindsey Stirling, so I'm going to be out here for a minute, but then I'll come in here. And Alyssa goes, okay, cool, there's pink elephants in here. And I didn't know what she said, but it sounded like she said there's pink elephants in here. So I was like, what? And she goes, oh, I'm seeing pink elephants in here. It's really cool. And I was just like, okay. And I closed the door and went back to listen to Jordan Caswell playing.
And the three ladies that were the ones that originally told me about the pink elephants just started cracking up. They're like, he has no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, I'm very aware, but he just went with it, which was really smart. And I'll tell him about it later. They ended up leaving, and another gentleman came in, and it was literally the gentleman and myself listening to Bernadette Bahari, who is the pianist, and tonight she's playing Broadway hits, and so she played songs from Newsies, she played songs from Wicked, and then she just started taking requests from the two of us because it's just us in here listening to her amazing piano playing, and it's just so pretty and peaceful and relaxing to be in here because the decor is just amazing. Her piano playing is beautiful, of course, and the pink piano just adds to it, which is really amazing.
As Jordan finished that Lindsey Stirling song, he asked for any requests. I was kind of standing outside the lounge in the walkway area, but there were only 2 people in the lounge, so I was like, nobody's going to request anything. I just said, more Lindsey Stirling. And he goes, which song? I was like, well, I mean, I could pick a bunch of them, so I just threw out Shatter Me. I said, do Shatter Me. So, okay, played that one. And I really enjoyed hearing that song because it's one of my favorites. And then he goes, any more requests? And now one of the people's already left, and it's just me and this other guy. And I was like, I should probably sit down. So I gave him a couple options for songs, and he played both of them instead of one of them. And after a while of playing those Lindsey Stirling songs, he said, you know what? If you enjoy Lindsey Stirling, I'm going to play one of my original songs. So when we get back to shore and have signal again, I've got to find out if he has an album, because he is so talented. Hearing him play the covers was great, but his original work was really, really good too. And he did wrap things up in a Disney way with a little Mary Poppins medley before he shut things down for the night. When he was done, the piano player was still going for just a little while longer, so I joined Alyssa in the lounge and got to hear like a song and a half because I was really enjoying the violin, and I was like, I hope she's enjoying the piano because I was enjoying the violin in here.
I did. I'm so glad we took the time to go hear them because Disney brings on the most talented people here on the cruise ships, and so we always try and make sure that we schedule a time that we go and listen to them. He enjoyed the Lindsey Stirling songs a lot more than the Taylor Swift songs earlier, so that worked out.
Very much.
And I, of course, enjoyed the Broadway hits. So we just had a very peaceful, relaxing evening, and it was just such a great way to end the night tonight. At this point, there's basically no one out because it's very late.
Very empty here.
Clearly, as no one's like out there because it's just like one other person and us in each room. So we decided to end the night there and head back to the room, and that was the end of day 2 here on the Disney Dream.